Sana tayo. Tagal mo naman, alam, pinagsasabi niya, ang dami akong pinost. Tsaka weekend, ano ka ba? Ayan, ayan, ayan. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Wonderful people, beautiful people. Ang dami natin pag-usapan. Pasensya na, guys. Dahil medyo Ilocano tayo at maling breakfast dito. I only had 1 meal yesterday. And then, kanina sabi ko, hindi. Mahal ang breakfast dito. I cannot justify it. So, pumunta ako all the way excited mag-Jollibee. Yung pala, saradong Jollibee. 7 a.m., 6 a.m., mag-8 p.m., 8 a.m., 8 a.m. na, wala pa rin Jollibee. So, kanina pumunta na lang tayo sa McDo. No choice. Parang Baguio rin pala dito, yung Jollibee McDo, medyo magkatabi almost. At mukhang Pinoy din yung mga staff doon. So, still, I felt at home. Ayan, may energy na tayo. I really wanted to do this earlier, guys. Pero nung gumising ako ng 5, 6 a.m. kanina, remember guys, if you look at my timeline, ang dami kong posts and updates. So I'm keeping abreast with everything happening in the Philippines. Just ko naman pagbigyan. Ay talaga tayong papahingahin eh. Ang dami nangyaring gulo sa bansa natin. So sa bago ako natulog kanina, nag-reset ng body clock. Ito na, post ka na. Tapos pagising natin 5, 6 a.m. Gusto ko na mag-meta ka na kaagad. But wala na, kulang talaga na energy. So excited. I said, I'm gonna go to Jollibee in my, ano, Dolce Gabbana, and then ganyan, and then, ay, sarado. Parang alam mo yung mga sa mga movies na yung CD nagsascratch, yung sobrang excited ka na, Pogi, feel go, let's go Jollibee, buya ka siya, ready na for Chicken Joy, let's go, biglang, cheat, sarado yun. Tuloy nagka, pero thank you Lord, let's nag-back to tayo, medyo may energy na tayo. At hindi tayo nakapaggastos ng malaki dun sa breakfast. Hindi kasi guys, di ba, yung mga breakfast sa mga, alam mo naman, hindi katulad ng mga breakfast sa mga hotel natin na definitely worth the pay. Dito ang breakfast is basically a few sausage, few this and that. I'm not gonna pay like, for things like that. Although, hindi ko pa na-check kung pwede ko reimburse. But thank you again dun sa ating academic sponsors dito. As visiting in the Pacific Scholar, tayo nandito sa Canada. To give a series of lectures across the country over the coming days and so thank you so much at papunta na rin ako dun sa isang podcast mamaya pag-usapan natin ng ASEAN, populism, US-China competition, elbows up, dynamic with the wonderful guy, the amazing guy on the other side of the border. Okay, so yeah, having said that, guys, eto na, eto na, eto na, eto na, eto na, that's it. Cheese is out. Buyaka siya. We broke it. We broke the story kanina bago lang tayo matulog. Titignan niyo dun sa mga different platforms natin. Pinost natin yun kanina na talagang Tito Soto was able to put together the numbers. Tito Soto actually, as we understand, Tito Soto was about to burst through right before the SONA, State of the Nation address. There were suspicions that enough numbers were already gathered. I was told by informed people that there should be an expectation na iba na yung maging Senate leadership and that there was enough disappointment with Cheese. But siguro, mukhang last minute si BBM yata yun yung mga drama. Siguro sabi ni BBM, ayoko naman nangyari kay Digong, alam mo, nag-away-away sa likod. Sino ba? Si Pantaleon Alvarez ba? Si Arroyo ba? So, it looks like BBM being the conflict avoidant, a nice guy, wonderful guy. Basically said, wag muna kayo manggulo. But I remember very well, kasi nandun tayo sa batasan, I remember very well yung mukha ni Cheese. Sobrang tuwan-tuwa siya. Like, he was like in this beaming smile. Like, talaga, parang I survived. Ganon yung kanyang vibes. After all of the kalokohan na ginawa niya dun sa forthwith, I mean, to be honest, he was easily, without a question, the worst Senate president ever. No trace of principle, conviction politics, absolutely opportunist, absolutely Jesus Cordero messed it up big time. He was just trying to survive. He was just trying to stay in whatever symbolic position that Senate president means. No offense. And he was just giving concessions right and left to the Team DDS guy. Sa tuloy, naging red ribbon committee. Hindi na blue ribbon. Ayan tuloy, kahit kanya, ano na, kahit saan pumunta yung mga committees, naging red ribbon tuloy yung committee, hindi na blue ribbon. Pag-usapan natin very shortly mamaya itong nangyari kay Diskaya. Very suspiciously, excited si Diskaya to share yung kanyang mga expose about yung mga contractors na kausap niya. And Nothing suspicious here at all. Nothing suspicious at all. Parang dinadama yung isang aliado ni Mayor Vico. And speak of Mayor Vico, meron siyang malaking statement kanina pushing back once again against itong Diskaya who were clearly very comfortable in their skin. Very, very, very comfortable in their skin. Uh, tuwang-tuwa pa sila. Pakit-pakit pa siya, Marcoleta. Oh, eto, Jinggoy, you're cleared na. Wala kang... I mean, like, it was terrible, guys. Seriously. It was not... It was a red... No offense to Red Ribbon, but that was definitely not Blue Ribbon. That's not what we see at the level of the Senate. Whatever clown show that was, no offense. Um, it looks like there's a very good chance na magkakaroon tayo ng ibang paraan dito. I would be happy to see someone legit doing the Blue Ribbon Committee. I'm not a fan of Lacson. Masyadong natutuwa sa sarili niya ito si Lacson at saka masyadong natutuwa dun sa mga ayoko na magsalita baka saan mapunta ang usapan. But I won't mind if Lacson will be the Blue Ribbon or I don't know, Kiko. I don't know if what's Soto gonna do because anyway, nasa minority na sila Marcoleta, Jinggoy, ano tawag natin sa kanya, Fantastic Nine. Basically DDS plus ano and then yung isa convicted and then plus Cheese. Now, speaking of Cheese, obviously he was not only the worst ever Senate president dahil clearly he was playing all sorts of sophistry. Sabi ko, sophistry is exactly the reason why yung mga Greek Athenian philosophers were against democracy. Because sa kanilang palagay, two types of people could manipulate democracy. One type is very familiar tayo, Digong style, demagogue, demagogic leaders who appeal to our worst instincts. Just the same way na fake news can travel faster than real news because mas titillating, mas sensationalist ang fake news. The same thing with demagogues. It's easier for them to win debates, easier for them to win power in at least ancient democracies dahil they appeal to our worst instincts. They appeal to prejudice, they appeal to fear, they appeal to the most disgusting, the most base elements of human nature. And unfortunately, that's where the power of demagogues is. Instead of appealing dun sa better angels of our nature, they appeal to the inner demons of human society. And of course, demagogues do very well when there's tremendous amount of grievance at saka mga dissatisfaction dun sa isang kasalukuyan na sistema. But the second type, who tend to also dominate inside a democracy, according to the Greek philosophers, I'm talking about Aristotle, I'm talking about Plato or / Socrates or Plato or Plato test or whatever, because sometimes you don't know if it's Plato's argument or Socrates' argument. If you have really read biographies of Socrates, I love the guy. Idol ko si Socrates. Alam niyo bakit? Bardagulan. Napakatalino ni Socrates. He was a war hero during the Peloponnesian Wars. He was an extremely smart and accomplished person, pero go lang siya ng go. Pupunta siya sa gitna ng palengke, tapos kung sino-sinong ididebate niya. Pero ididebate niya in a very bardagulan way. O para, ano sa tingin mo? O bakit ganun tingin mo? Sigurado ko ba? Bakit si ganito, ganyan? Tapos sa dulo, ma-realize nung kabila, mali pala siya. Diba? So, anyway, so the second type that Socrates was very concerned about, and you could see this in some of the Platonic dialogues, is the sophist. So, ito yung mga tao na magaling mambola. Paikot-ikot sila. Pinapaikot-ikot nila yung mga argumento, gagamit sila ng mga kung ano-anong mga technical terminologies to create obfuscation, magdi-dismissive sila dun sa, I've heard from someone representing Jesus Cadera, tumasaligang kilay natin. Taliwa talaga tumasa kilay ko. Sabi niya, yung sinabi ni Sarah na, yung sinabi ni Sarah na papatayin niya si BBM ka. Ano lang yun? Ano yan? Ganin magsalita yung mga, alam mo na, this is this is basically the the way they do it in the streets. Ganun like, gago ka ba? So, I'm sorry to say that. No. Well, this is not Cheese himself, but someone representing Cheese. Ayoko na magsalita, but tumasa lang ang kilay ko. Seriously? Threatening to assassinate the president, we'll just dismiss that as a kind of hindi, ganyan magsalita yung mga maangas sa Alam mo guys, nakapunta ako sa mga nag-research ako sa nung nagsa-stat ako dati dun sa survey to learn how to survey. Nagpayatas tayo. Yung isang lola natin, yung kapatid ng lola na back in the day na nagtondo na ako. So I've been into informal sector, slums, etc. I'm sorry, wala akong narinig ng ganyan. Or even if supposedly that's the way, guys, that's not an excuse. By the way, Sara Duterte is not from I'm sorry, ang mga elite ang mga Dutertes, not elite intellectually or in any other real sense of the word. There's a merit and all that. No offense, no offense. But they're definitely elite politically. Their dynasty, they control all levers of power in Davao. So, anyway, this is what sophists do, right? Papaikot nila yung argument, sasabihin nila, ay, wala yan. Tapos, lalambutin nila yung issue. Tapos, parang yung, alam mo yung parang hinihimas mo yung baboy bago mong kakatayin. Parang gaganin nila yung mga kababuyan sa demokrasya. Yan ang ginagawa ng sophists, right? So, forthwith. Yes, forthwith means agad, pero agad-agad under certain conditions. Pero pag certain conditions na yan, ay ganito ganyan, iwanan natin sa Supreme Court, i-define anong conditions. And then, even if sinabi ng Supreme Court yan, tayo pa rin mag-decide dahil may prerogative tayo, ano ba talagang dapat sabihin. Like, yung just the word forthwith, just look at how Jesus Escudero played around that for 5-6 months. Right? For 5 to 6 months, he played around just the concept of forthwith. That is classic sophistry. And then, boom. Huli ka, kilay, di ba? Ayan tuloy, na-expose na naman yung mga kalokohan ng mga politiko natin. Habang excited itong mga ka-DDS natin na, ito na, Diskaya, flood control, corruption, investigate natin ng Congress, DPWH, impeach na natin si BBM, BBM, ganyan, boom, buya ka siya. Ito na, COMELEC confirmed that may mga senador, or at least one of them, tataas na naman kilay natin, nag-benefit from direct campaign contribution from a contractor na hindi lang kung sino-sino contractor, isa sa mga pinakamalaking beneficiaries na mga flood control projects na walang hiya, if you put them all together, is worth $9.5 billion. 50 times worse than the PDAF scandal, pork barrel scandal ni Janet Napoles. This is the next level, guys. This is the next level. So speaking of Boy Kilay, sophistry. Ano sabi niya? Oo, nag-contribute naman siya kasi wala naman siyang hindi siya makalusot. Pero hindi naman ako sa kanya Hindi ko naman ginamit yung power ko para i-benefit siya ganyan. Tapos parang yung sinabi ni Sara, 'di ba? Parang di naman sinabi na papatay na. Papatayin lang naman kung gusto niya akong patayin. Yung parang ganoon. So parang siya, parang deferred conditional bribery, deferred conditional murder. Like, you see how ridiculous that argument is. Nag-contribute siya, pero kasi taga sa amin yun Sorsogon yan, friends kami, family kami, love, ganyan. So, wala kaming ginawang mali Uy, thank you Maka na binigyan mo 30 million. Wala yan, okay lang yan. So, alam mo, yun talaga hindi nagagana yan. So, that definitely was the final nail in the coffin of the Kilay journey. Ayan na, nagagalit na yung mga DDS. Ayan na, iyakan na naman ng mga DDS. Nako po. Si Tito Soto ay pro-impeachment. Ang Kongreso ay pro-impeachment. BBM ay medyo yata pro-impeachment. So that actually just leaves the Supreme Court. Let's see what the Supreme Court does. Anyway, katulad ng mga framers ng Constitution, we had Justice Ascuna on our show who said there's a way out for the Supreme Court, right? And that is to say, okay, whatever ruling they made should only apply prospectively, not retrospectively, and therefore, hindi dapat mag-apply dito sa Sara Duterte case. Anyway, as things stand, sobrang na-isolate na yung mga DDS sa Senado ngayon. At it looks like the majority, the veterans bloc, the progressive bloc, lahat sila nagsama. Tsaka yung mga iba na deep inside and behind the scenes, hiyang-hiya na sila sa mga kaiwanan ng pinaggagawa ng mga ka-DDS natin dyan sa Senado. And ginawang Red Ribbon Committee hindi na Blue Ribbon. Imaginein mo, ginagawang parang kwentong Anyway, hindi pa rin ako makamove on dun sa isang ka-DDS natin na kaibigan. Kasi nung isang araw, guys, nasa kaha lang tayo, pinapa-maintenance natin yung isang kotse natin. Isang kotse lang naman. Yung kotse natin, isang kotse. Pinapa-maintenance natin yung kotse. Hindi naman tayo diskaya na 47 cars, actually parang 70 yata yung cars nila. Pinapa-maintenance natin gano'n. Tapos, nung nasa Grab tayo, ayan na, si Kuya sabi niya, ayan na, mag-Indonesia na tayo, sir, ganyan. Oo nga, grabe. Tapos Pero okay naman sir yung Senate, di ba? Ang galing naman ni Marcoleta, napakatalino kasi galing ni Ma'am Miriam Defensor. Pero, wait, what? What? Kung gano'n, nung una, tuwan-tuwa ako na, aba, talagang may social consciousness. Dapat lumaban tayo, hindi pwede name and shame lang. Tapos yung pinag-usapan namin Indonesia, mga Gojek driver, ganun. Tapos biglang, ay, napakagaling ni Marcoleta, no? Napakagaling na abogado, talaga napakatalino. Ka-level ni Ma'am Miriam Defensor, talaga parang, yeah, ano mo yun? I've worked with Ma'am Miriam Defensor. She's really, really not the same level as Marcoleta, and I mean it in the completely the other way around, right? And like, wait, masyadong bit. Tapos, di ba, si Robin Hood Padilla, napaka-humble, sir. Kasi usapan, kotse, di ba? Yung mga kotse ni Diskaya. Kotse lang niya. Murahin lang kotse niya. Ganyan na. Fortuner lang kotse niya. Sabi ko, nilahit pa ni Kuya Fortuner. Ouch, di ba? Nilahit pa niya yung Fortuner. Sabi ko, sir, Fortuner, medyo 2 milyon na rin. Hindi, parang kawawa nga yung kotse ni Sir Robin Padilla. Kaya sabi, awanan na gito. Sabi ko, agawit tayo. Sabi ko, sir, okay na, okay na. Okay na, pwede na ako bumaba dito. Sabi ko, ibaba niyo na ako dito, okay na ako. Hindi, hindi. Actually, I can deal with that. I do exactly what Socrates does. Parang, ganun ho ba? Napakagaling. Saan ulit siya, no? Okay. Anong record niya bilang abogado? Okay. Oo, oo. Tapos, so, ginagano ko. Tapos yung kay Robin at Padilla. Okay, okay. Di ba may negosyo sila ng drip-drip yung So, ikutin mo lang. Pero di mo i-contradict si Kuya. Di ba? Siyempre, tama si Kuya eh. Ka-DDS, di ba? So yun. Oh, by the way, guys, wala nang away, hinamon yata tayo mag-debate nung isang araw nung isang kaibigan natin. Sabi ko na, Baguio boys tayo, let's just keep it among ourselves. Good, ano tayo, let's just agree to disagree on these things. At I just messaged also Mayor Magalong the other day, actually kahapon lang, and I said, sige, interview natin si Mayor Magalong. So I'm looking forward to having Mayor Magalong back on our show again. Pag-usapan natin, because guys, speaking of which, by the way, let's look at the data. Let me pull out the data. Kung nakita niyo yung post natin kanina, sorry, hindi pa rin ako makamove on kay Kuya eh. Napakagaling, kasing galing ni Mayor. Saan niya kinuha yung gano'n? Like, saan po galing yung, ano po yung standards natin dito? Tapos si Robin, napaka-humble, he has a good heart, sabi ko. Ano rin ako eh, parang diplomatic. I'm sure deep inside he's a good person, di ba? Usually ganun yan eh, di ba? Parang kung may anak kang pasaway, tapos parati may kalokohan na ginagawa. Okay naman siyang bata eh, mabuti naman yung puso niya. Di ba usually ganun? Yung mga nanay, pag dinidefend yung anak na pinakapasaway, di okay naman yung puso niya eh. Kaso mali lahat. Yun lang, ma'am, hindi lang kasi wala kasi kaming time na titignan pa yung ano na yung to look into his soul. Medyo marami siyang kalokohan. But anyway, ito na guys Ito na team Buyakasya. Ito na mga Fantastic Nine. Ayan na, ito magaling yung isa pang famas eh. Galit na tayo sa corruption. Ay, hindi dapat tutuloy ang corruption. Itong pinakamaraas na corruption. Mga ganyan. Tapos talagang galing eh. Galing. Wait, oo, pinapalis na ako. Wait lang. Napakagaling. Tapos, ito naman. Kanina, bad trip to kasi sinabihan yung ito. Oh, eto sir, binigyan na. Wala. Wala ka palang ginawa eh. Okay ka pala. Click. Sabi ko, ano to? Red Ribbon Committee. Ki horror. Tapos itong mga to, basically self-explanatory. Ayoko na magsalita. Ito naman si wag na no comment. Ito, favorite ko to eh. Magaling to. Napaka-unbiased. Nilecture pa tayo about ano bang trabaho ng political analyst. Aba kuya, nile-lecture mo ako. About anong trabaho. Ayusin mo muna yung trabaho mo, ha? Kung senator judge ka, wag kang openly magano, ha? Ayusin mo muna ang buhay mo, ha? Bago ka magano. Oh, bahala ka na, Tito Boy. Anyway, nakita ko yung vlog ni Tito Boy. Parang every week yata kayo may ano. Ito yung mukha ni Jinggoy. Uy, in fairness, baka naman tama yung Kuya Grab. Magaling nga si Marcoleta eh. He made Jinggoy make this facial expression. Yung parang, oh, Jinggoy, ano ka na? Jinggoy, the good, tapos JV, the good one, and then the bad one, and then, klaro ka na. Yung mukha ni Jinggoy. So yan, basically yan. Red Ribbon Committee. Napakagaling talaga. Talagang ka-level talaga ni... At tingnan mo naman si ate, oh. Feel na feel niya, oh. Feel na feel ni ate. Feel na feel niya. Feel na feel ni ate. Smiling, smiling pa siya, oh. Di, nawala na yung British accent niya, no? Napansin niya, guys? Conversation.
Magandang umaga po sa mga
I resent that
statement. Senators at miyembro ng...
Sorry, guys. Ito talaga, eh. Pwede na siyang meme. Yung GIF ba yan or GIF? Pwede. I resent that, yeah. Pag kayo, may... Ito yung mga DDS nagka-comment dyan. Ganun ang bibigay kong mukha sa inyo. I resent that comment. Oh, ligtas ka na, Jingoy. Oh my God, these people are... Ito na nga lang eh. Magre-red ribbon na sila eh. Fantastic na yun. Sila parang mangbubuli. The good one, the bad one. Eh, yung good one nga, sa kabila na siya kagad. Oh, tuloy. Obvious na sinong the good one. Shoutout pala kay Senator JV. We also had on this show. Yan, the good one. Kabila na. Amaya na tayo dun sa majority, minority. Yun lang pala eh. Dapat sila hinintay lang nila. Magkasama rin pala sila ni Risa. Ni Rush kasi nila masyado kasama si Team Cheese. Ito. Wala, ito si British accent. Smiling, smiling.
Magandang umaga po sa mga kagalang-galang na senators.
Aba. Kagalang-galang.
At miyembro ng Blue Ribbon Committee.
Blue
lalo
Ribbon.
Kay Senator Dante Marcoleta, Chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee.
Alright.
Joint statement ng
joint statement?
namin mag-asawa.
Wow.
So, I will read partial
Talagang.
and then my husband will also read the other half of the sworn statement. So, kami si Pacifico F. Discaya II and Cesara Rowena Discaya, mag-asawang nasa tamang edad, parehong Pilipino.
Ay, wala nang British accent.
Number
Sige lang.
Number one, noong 2003, kaming mag-asawa ay tinayun ang kumpanya na pinangalan namin St. Gerard Construction.
Ayan na.
Ipinarehistro namin ito sa DTI, nakakuha ng contractor's license at nagsimula na lumahok sa mga pribadong construction projects.
Alright.
Number two, kinalaunan nagsimula na rin kami na lumahok sa mga government projects.
Sige lang ate.
Natuklasan namin na hindi naging madali ang trabaho sa mga government projects. Madalas mahirap ang paniningil ng bayad at matagal bago kami mabayaran ng gobyerno.
Sige lang.
Number 4, hanggang dumating
Kawawa naman.
ang pagkakataon, lumapit sa
Kawawa
amin
naman si
ang isang
ate.
kaibigan na si Voltaire Claveria at inalok kaming magkaroon ng proyekto sa national level gamit ang aming lisensya.
Alright.
Number 5, ipinakilala niya ang sarili niya na nagtatrabaho para sa isang congressman.
Ayun
at
na.
nangakong kapag nagbigay kami ng pera ay makakakuha kami ng proyekto.
Oh, guys, kawawa naman sila. Yan ang gusto ko sa mga Red Ribbon Committee. Pwede pala mga Cinderella story. Kami po ay mga ordinaryong tao. Very ordinary people, humble people, wonderful people. We just had a company. We just wanted to do it very nicely, wonderfully, decently. And then, ito kasi, mga kurakot kasi mga politiko eh. Kaya ganyan. Si ate, no? Very prim and proper. Wala na yung top of the world. Wala na yung mga ganon.
Number 6, dahil wala kaming alam sa
Number six.
kalakaran sa pambansang proyekto sa
Kawawa
gobyerno,
naman.
nagtiwala kami at ibinigay ang lahat.
Wait. Victim talaga sila, no? I mean, I was just being sarcastic, no? Aba. Talagang victim talaga sila. Guys, victim sila. Bakit kaya ganyan? Dapat, katulad tayo ng mga kadidias natin, parating victim ang mga masasama. Yan ang problema sa mga kadidias. Parating ang masama. Yun ang sasabihin, biktima yan, kawawa yan, yan. Oh, anyway.
Ang ipon naming
Oh,
mag-asawa.
grabe. Kawawa
Sa
naman kayo.
kasamaang palad, niloko lang niya kami.
Aba?
Naglaho siya, dala ang pera namin
Wow.
mag-asawa.
Grabe, talagang inano talaga.
Nagpunta kami sa DPWH
Victim
para
to the-
i-report ang nangyari, pero hindi nila ito pinansin.
Guys, hindi lang pala, munti ko sinabi yung isa, hindi lang rags to riches, ano pala to eh, May MMK. Maalala mo kaya, guys? Maalaala mo kaya. Yan, dapat may ganun na music sa background, no? Feeling ko, kung hindi naulit ang mga to nila Vico, meron na silang version na ganun, biglang may interview na naman. Ano po ang ginawa sa inyo? Kawawa naman kayo. Opo, inano kami ng mga politiko, inano kami, ganun, ganun. No? Tapos palakpakan. Napakagaling ni ate, di ba? Yan, sige, sige. Oh my God. Sabi ko na Red Ribbon Committee to eh. Medyo pamunta na tayo sa, Disneyland. Medyo Disneyland na po. Opo.
Kahit ganon, hindi kami sumuko. Gusto ko pa rin gawin ng
Ay,
tama ang negosyo. Kaya patuloy
grabe.
kaming sumasali sa mga biddings sa
Palakpakan.
gobyerno.
Napaka-inspiring talaga. Very
Sa
inspiring.
kalaunan, ang kumpanya namin ay nanalo sa mga bidding sa mga proyekto sa national government
Galing.
sa pamamagitan ng patas na bidding.
Galing, galing, galing.
Ibinuhos namin ang lahat ng aming pagsisikap para maipakita ang kakayahan ng aming kumpanya na mayroong maayos na paggagawa, dekalidad na resulta, at natatapos sa tamang oras.
Uy, guys, let me be clear. Actually, I kind of believe dun sa kakayahan nila gumawa ng kalidad na produkto. Alam mo bakit? Nakita mo yung pinto nila. Ang daming, I'm sorry guys, I don't endorse violence and all. Pero ang daming nagtapon ng kahit ano dun sa mga pinto nila. Diba? Pero pansin nyo guys, ang ganda ng kalidad. Walang scratch, walang anything. So, yung pala, kayang-kaya nila gumawa ng magandang kalidad na yun lang, sarili nilang mansion kasi yan. So, priority. Guys, palakpakan natin. Napaka-inspiring, guys. Hindi pa kayo na-inspire. How dare you not get inspired by this? Ako, na-inspire. Ano na ako eh. Anong tears ni BBM? Magti-tears din ako. Guys, grabe, nag-level up na, hindi lang inspiring. Maalala mo kaya talagang level ni ate.
Nagkaroon ng konting tagumpay ang St. Gerard
Yun,
Construction.
ito na.
Kaya minabuti namin mag-asawa
Lagyan natin ng music.
na mag-expand at bumuo ng ibang kumpanya tulad ng Alpha and Omega General Contractor and Development.
Wait. So, kung sila kumpanya, niloko sila, kawang-kawawa sila. So, ang ginawa nila, pinadami nila yung kumpanya nila. Like, wait lang, I'm not sure how that works. Like, nalugi ka, so may ginawa ka, tapos niloko ka, tapos nalugi ka, so ang ginawa mo, mas dinami mo yung business mo. I'm just not sure how that works eh. How can you go from that and then dinami mo pa? But anyway, guys, andito tayo sa Red Ribbon Committee, so let's just go with the flow.
Corporation. Interjection, Mr. Chair.
Ayan na, nabuisit mo si ate.
What is the interjection?
Salamat, Mr. Chair. Kailangan ko lang pong umakyat sa office sandali para sa isang tulong. But hopefully,
Alam niyo ano nangyari dyan, di ba? Ito na, paalisin na yung mga... Ito na yan yata eh. Sa pagkaalam natin baka mali ako, pero yung nag-excuse me si Risa, yun yata yun eh. Alis na, paalisin na siya, hindi alam ni Kuya, na ano na yan. Ano na yan, huling Red Ribbon Committee hearing na yan.
pagbalik ay nandito pa rin sina Mr. and Miss Diskaya dahil meron din po akong mga tanong para sa kanila.
Oh,
Ayan.
yes. Sabi
Oh,
ko,
pero pagbalik ko, baka hindi na ikaw maging...
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Ayan na.
Bakit hindi na lang tayo bigyan ng kopya ng sworn affidavit imbis na basahin nila niya so we can para himayin namin yung kanyang
Ano ba
sworn
naman to si
affidavit?
Jinggoy, oh? Guys, inspiring story to. What is wrong with you? Kaya tuloy, alam mo, nagigets ko nga ngayon si Marcoleta. Bakit pinagsabihan si Jinggoy? Ang ganda ng build-up. May music na, may... Tapos kami, nalugi kami, gano'n kami, kaya dinami namin yung business, kaya magaling na kami, diba? So, ganda sana eh. Inspiring story, guys. Sinira naman ni Jinggoy. Tuloy, ginawa sa kanya ni Marcoleta na Jinggoy. So, now I understand everything. Guys. So, on a serious note, there are two ways I want to approach this, guys. So, one is, unang-una, bigyan natin ng pansin yung, in fairness, maganda yung response ni Vico dito. Because Vico was really, really unhappy. Ito yung statement ni Vico. Vico was really, really unhappy with how this Blue Ribbon Committee went on. Because it looked really bad. I'm sorry. Oh, someone is saying bad script. Whatever, ChatGPT, whatever. Guys, that didn't look legit to me. I'm sorry to say it. Very suspicious. But, I'm talking about statement of these people are being accused of, pocketing billions of dollars. Diba? Grabe na yung mga, nakita niyo yung mga meme na malungkot si LeBron James. Kasi si LeBron James buong buhay niya, nagtrabaho, etong kinita niya. Sila ate, ilang taon lang biglang mas malaki pang kinita nila kay Michael Jordan at LeBron James. But anyway, umabot na sa basketball earnings. Baka naman, bati si Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, talo nila ate. But anyway, going back to this, guys, I really suggest you guys, on a serious note, check out what Vico said on this. Because for Vico, that whole hearing, red ribbon, whatever you want to call it, was a travesty. Sabi ni Vico, obviously there are congressmen, DPWH officials, and contractors who are guilty. But the spouses this guy are clearly angling to become state witness para di sila makulong. We know they're capable of lying. Just go back to their campaign period videos and posts. I would say just go back to their British accent na nawala biglang ngayon. Today in the Senate hearing, I noticed many inconsistency in their statements. Yung pinaka-obvious na lang muna yung halimbawa ng kasinungalingan. Sabi ni Mr. Mine Curly, 2 to 3% lang ng contract cost ng kita nila kada proyekto. Swerte na daw kung 5%. Oh, grabe naman ang profit margins. Sa ibang project, lugi pa daw sila. Wow! Hindi ako nagsabi ito. Yan ang gusto kay Vico eh. Nagiging na rin siya bardagulan eh. This is how we should do it, guys. We shouldn't give these people quarter. Talagang, wow! Dapat nilagay mo pa ng exclamation mark, Vico. Taliwas ito sa statement nila sa isang interview kung saan sinabi nilang bilyonaryo sila at nasa 11 digits na daw ang pera nila. Meaning, at least 10 billion pesos. Kaya malungkot si LeBron James at saka Michael Jordan kasi talo pa ang kita nila kila ate. Dahil paano ka maging bilyonaryo na ganun sa 2 to 3% profit lang? In short, kasinungalingan, kalokohan itong sinasabi ng mga to. Hindi yan papasa kahit sa script. Tanungin niyo si OG Diaz, tanungin niyo na sa showbiz, papasa ba yan sa yung drama nila? Hindi. Baka papasa yung isang senador na drama-drama, galit na gano'n. Baka yun, pwede pa. Starstruck. Presidente na mismo ang nakakita ng ghost projects nila. Sino gagawa ng ganun kalaking krimen para sa 2 to 3% na kita? Huwag tayong magpauto sa mga paawa effect nila. Wala daw silang magawa. Sila pa daw ang victim. Napupuisip na talaga si Vico. The challenge now is how to sift through the half-truths and attempts to mislead us, not only of the spouses this guy, but everyone involved. May we be vigilant and discerning. Hashtag flood control projects, hashtag DVWH, hashtag corruption kills, hashtag I would say maalala mo kaya hashtag inspiration. So yun. So in fairness kay Vico, talagang dinemolish na ito. Very good job, Vico. Tsaka guys, tingnan nyo naman yung napaka comfortable ni ate. Yung medyo British dapat parang yung mga ganun, medyo royalty. Grabe ni Anna. Look at the body language, how comfortable they are with the Red Ribbon Committee. Hindi yata ko. Imagine mo ito yung mukha ng mga ang hindi pa masaya si Jinggoy, diba? Like what a contrast, yung mukha ni Jinggoy at yung mga yan. Anyway, so that's one thing. I really suggest you guys support what Vico is doing on this front. I mean, all of us naman are supporting. I'm just saying, like, guys, sino bang akala niya malaloko nila sa mga ginagawa na? Pangalawa, guys, let's look at the numbers. The numbers are absolutely clear, guys. Grabe, ang ligaya ng mga Diskaya talaga nagsimula noong 2016, guys. So, ito yung mga total products, so, whatever kalokohan na gusto nila sabihin, labas na labas dito sa PCIJ, yung numbers nila. Yung St. Gerard na sinasabi nila, na kinawawa sila ganun. Tignan nyo na gaano kalaki yung nakuha ng St. Gerard sa loob lang ng isang taon. From July 2016 to December 2017, 12 billion pesos, 303,270,622 pesos. 12 billion and 303 million ang kanilang project sa loob lang ng isang taon itong St. Gerard Construction Company lang. Right? Hindi pa kasama dun sa mga ibang company sila and all. And this is Duterte administration, July 2016 to December 2017. This is PCIJ data. You can find it on your own. So award contracts data, Department of Public Works and Highways 2001, 2017. So, guys, sa isang taon lang, itong tignan gano'ng kalaking proyekto nakuha ng St. Gerard lang, yung isang company lang nila. Tapos ngayon, magmaalala mo kayo sila, mag-power effect sila. This is what I'm talking about, guys. The numbers are absolutely clear here. So, kaya nga parati ko sinasabi, hindi pwede titingnan mo lang yung project nila this year, last year, 2 years, 3 years ago. You have to go back to where talaga sila nagsimula na lumaki. Now, tama naman sinasabi ng mga ka-DDS natin na matagal naman sila sa industriya. But, saan sila nagsimula kumuha ng napakalaking mga ganitong proyekto na flood control? Kitang-kita sa numbers yan, guys. You can check it out yourself. Kailan nagsimula yung libo-libo flood control projects? Duterte admin. Now, since hindi tayo red ribbon style, blue ribbon style tayo, I also posted kanina, wag tayo bias because we also have to look at the projects during the Aquino administration. There are also many big projects during the Aquino administration that I think we have to ask about. Hindi kasama mga Diskaya dito at hindi kasing dami mga flood control projects. But for instance, one company got 17 billion pesos in contracts. But look at it. This is between 2010 and 2016. This is over 6 years period. So medyo misleading actually yung graphs na yun because you're looking at within 1 year, yun lang nakuha ng St. Gerard. Tapos yung kabila naman, it's actually within a 6-year period. But nevertheless, sabi ko, yes, let's be fair. Tignan din natin yung mga top contractors na nag-benefit nung panahon ni Pinoy. Right? Meron also GMA administration. And katulad ng pinag-usapan natin with Justice Carpio actually, the ombudsman can go 10-15 years. So you can cover 3-4 administration. Kaya nga sabi ko dun sa ating minamahal na mayors for good governance, ganun, just don't look at just Marcos administration, look at the Duterte administration, look at the Aquino administration. But then again, 1 year lang yung isa 6 years. But nevertheless, if we were to believe the PCIJ report, there's no one who's perfectly cleaner. And we have to have proper scrutiny of all administration. Having said that, what I always say is that also put things into perspective. So, kanina kaagad sabi ko, 6 years yung isa, 1 year yung isa. Pangalawa, how many flood control projects during Digong? 11,000 what? 500 by his 5th year pa lang, more than 12,000. How many kay Aquino? So, there are levels to this game. For sure, may mga kalokohan na nangyari nung panahon ni Pinoy, panahon ni Arroyo, without necessarily knowledge of the president, right? Sometimes with the knowledge, sometimes without knowledge, that has to be established. But, ibang level yung lumobo yung mga flood control projects para hindi ko. And then, of course, ngayon, grabe na. Diba? So, what I'm saying is that you have to look at all of that. And the numbers are all provided here. Kaya nga pinost ko sa PCIJ. And sabi ko nga, let's look at also Aquino administration era projects. Kasi, the reason I'm saying that is that biglang lahat ng tao sobrang tuwan-tuwa kay DPW Secretary Singson, napakagaling, napakagaling. And I can confirm that during that time, I was hearing a lot of good things about him and all of that. But, to talk as if we were heaven during Aquino and then automatically hell during Duterte. No, it was more like an upward slope of questionable practices. No, again, this is according to the PCIJ report that I really suggest you guys read. All the details are there. So the title is All the President's Contractors. This is the title of the paper, All the President's Contractors, parang All the President's Men. For 20 years, Malacanang has been unable or unwilling to stop corruption in public works. This is September 4, 2025, Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism. Right? This is how you do it, guys. If you want the real Blue Ribbon Committee, wag yung mga red ribbon, whatever, makadides na ganun, let's have one like that. And pinaka-last one I want to say, kanina lang Senator Kiko Pangilinan, whom I've found more and more impressive in the past few weeks, despite my initial criticism of his decision to join the Cheese majority, despite my sense that, throughout the years, I think he was not as assertive and was not pushing back enough against the DDS. I mean, people are very familiar with my criticism of the Liberal Party, etc. But I'll give it to Kiko. I think he has been very impressive over the past few months since coming back to the Senate. He has been coming back to the Senate with a vengeance. Kudos to him. And I don't know. I hope I don't know about the new chairmanships that could happen and all. But personally, I want Kiko to lead the Blue Ribbon. He did that in the past, and I think he should do it again. He's a very good lawyer. And I think he will be fair. He'll be reasonable, and he'll be very, very at least very, very much an improvement on this. I'm just trying to pull out picture nila Kiko. Tatlo sila ni Pati lumalabas ito. Ayan, finally kasama na sila sa majority lahat. Finally, they're all together in majority together. So kaya nga sabi ko, hintayin na natin. Di ba sana hintayin na lang. Anyway, eto. This is the picture we wanted all to see, right? Wait. Ito. So this is the picture. So Kiko, Risa, bam. Boom. Buyaka siya. Finally in the majority together. And I'm not necessarily a fan of Tito Soto. More believe ako kay Vico Soto. But let's see. Let's see this Tito Soto in the Senate, Vico Soto dun sa LGU level, Mayors for Good Governance. Let's look at it. Let's see how things will move forward in the right direction. At least, you know, the Congress is for impeachment. The Senate now will more likely be open to impeachment. PBM, I heard, is a little bit open to at least the idea of a trial, or at least he openly said hindi naman na-acquit dun sa ano. So let's wait for the Supreme Court. Let's wait for the Supreme Court. And speaking of the Supreme Court, I was just listening kanina to Ezra Klein of New York Times talking about what his understanding of potential political bias in the Supreme Court's ruling was in the case of the U.S. So imagine gaano ka tabbad or neng if someone in the U.S. files a case against Ezra Klein saying Ezra Klein is insulting the Supreme Court of the United States because a New York Times podcast dared to question the impartiality of the Supreme Court justices. Even even yung pinaka-ewan na MAGA ay hindi gagawa nun. Which just tells you gaano ka, yung mga kadidiyas natin na iba dyan. Alright? So on that note, thank you very much, guys. Maraming salamat. I hope you enjoyed this latest episode. I know it's quite late there and I also have to, our day just started. I have to get down to work. At marami tayong pag-usapan. Medyo dry na yung leaves natin sa kakadaldal at saka ang dami natin ginagawa over the past few days and so, and trying to adjust also to, actually, apparently I can do a morning. I can be quite energetic during morning and God willing kung as things stand, it looks like I will be joining you guys from quite different time zone for quite some time. So it looks like mornings or noons I'll have to do this meta para it's at a good time during your time. But of course, alam din natin, swerte tayo dahil meron tayong followers from all across the world. From ito yung favorite ko yung sa mga Flat Earth Society. We have members all around the world. Tapos Flat Earth Society. Ganun din tayo, para tayong Flat Earth Society. We have members all around the world. Okay? And on that note, thank you very much. Maraming salamat din sa mga meta natin, supporters natin sa TikTok. Please continue to support us on TikTok. Kahit medyo China, kahit medyo na shadow ban tayo, sige lang, tuloy-tuloy lang yung ligaya natin, ang pagmamahal natin sa ating bayan. Thank you so much also dun sa ating mga followers, sa Richard Ferronda Idaran, sa ating Facebook. Please continue to subscribe, follow us. May subscription option dyan. Kasi marami nagsabi, bakit hindi kami na-alert pag live ka? Well, guys, because Facebook changed the algorithm 3-4 years ago. Remember, in 2022, we did as much as 9,000 to 10,000 live concurrent viewers, as in ka-level ng media channels. And we could easily do 1 million views per videos back in the day. And then Facebook changed the algorithm. And that's why we eventually had to migrate to YouTube to make this thing sustainable and sensible. So, dun sa mga followers natin, since wala naman tayong Patreon account or whatever like that, please follow us and be part of our little community on YouTube as I try to carve out some time to also upload some unique stuff for you. So, thank you so much for all of your love and support. Ito, gumising ako na 5:30 a.m. to get my Jollibee. Did not happen. McDo happened, but at least I think mga kababayan din natin na-meet natin dyan kanina. And then, I had to take care of the basics, the look, and all of that. But ito, tumakbo ako to be here on time because mahal na mahal ko kayo at mahal na mahal ko yung ginagawa natin. Because in many ways, sa akin palaga, we're part of a, parang kilusan na to, guys, eh. Vico is doing his own thing. Sila Bam and Kiko are gonna do their own thing. And tayo naman, sino ba naman tayo? Hampas lupa lang naman tayo kumpara dun sa mga kabilang channel at saka mga malalaking tao dyan. But in our own... Sorry. I know, ang lalabas niya parang medyo fake na pa-humble. Sorry guys, I can't fake pa-humble. Ayoko talaga yung mga pa-humble fake na mga ganun. Kadiri, yak. Sabi nga ni Chingoy, nakakadiri kayo. But anyways, hindi naman tayo major, but in our own... almost major way, we try our best to push the discussion in the right direction. And also, while we're here doing what we're doing, I hope to continue to also shape the discourse about geopolitics in our part of the world, to shape discourse about the U.S.-China competition in our part of the world, and also push for stronger relationship between the Philippines and like-minded countries, especially of course our great friends, amazing friends, wonderful friends dito sa Canada. Elbows up. Thank you so much. God bless and talk to you soon. Maraming salamat. Adios. Au revoir. Booyakasha.